Okay, welcome back. We're here talking with Luis and Mark, and just before the break, we talked about being positive, and that's one of the things that I think is the beauty of music, is you can be negative, but if you're putting out a positive vibe, it's good, you know. And how can anybody not feel good when they hear some good music, you know, or get to watch a good show? And so I'd like to talk a little bit about the show, and I'm going to push it right here. It's Up With People, presents Voices, and you're going to be on October 27th, 3 and 7, and that's at the CSA Makati Theater, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And people look at, there are three kinds of tickets. One, the most expensive is only 1,000 pesos, right?
Yes.
And then you become as a patron to do that.
Yeah.
And you get the best seat, right?
Yeah, you become a VIP. Yeah.
General would be 500, and if you're a student, 250 pesos.
Sulit
right?
naman, as they say in the Philippines.
That's it, right? And so it's a 2-hour show. You're going to see a little later. We're going to just give you just a little snippet of what you did in Taiwan, or one of the things you did in Taiwan. And again, you've got 100 people that are participating in this 2-hour show, right? And so there's singing, dancing.
We have everything in the show. I mean, the new show is called Voices, and like you were saying about positive, our music, our original Up With People music is written with a message. It's written with an intention, and it's written to inspire the audience to go home afterwards with a feeling that they have the power to make a change in their community. So, you know, you can go and have a fantastic night of entertainment. We'll take you around the world for 2 hours. We'll take you through time with our pop medleys. We've got medleys from the last 50, 60 years, like really fast-moving, high-energy dances, songs and dances from everywhere.
Okay, go back to high school, I guess.
Good. Take a trip back to high school. Bring the young kids. We got music, you know, rock, rap from today, hip-hop. Everything is in this show, Voices, and we really put a lot of effort into producing this new show. We came here, you know, we've been in Asia 5 times now, but I'm really excited to see Voices. We go and see it every week, week in, week out, and every time I watch the show, I get goosebumps. It's really something else.
No, that's great. You know, that's one of the things. The focus of this show, of course, is CSR, corporate social responsibility. And the thing that I always try to emphasize is CSR is not a one-off, you know. It isn't like, gee, let's go out Sunday and plant some trees, go drink some beer, and now we're finished. We've done what we want to do. The idea is that you're sustaining it, and you're continuing. And we, especially here in the Philippines, we need that for especially the communities that you're working in. And if you can get, you know, if you've got a catchy melody, that it's hard to not sing that, or it's hard to turn it loose once you felt it, you know. So at least you're going to be a couple of days anyway, still feeling the vibes of the music, I think.
And it's such a positive experience, you know. The whole 2-hour, it's an experience because we do interaction with the audience. We invite at certain points audience on stage. We talk about the community service projects we did. Many times we have some of our community service partners there also sharing about what they do. So it's very community oriented, and it's very uplifting. You know, and I tend to say, and that's one of the biggest things I learned by joining Up With People is you might have a bad day, and you get to Up With People, get to the show, people are there to welcome you from the start, and you have 2 hours of music. I mean, who doesn't like music? That's number one, right? Especially here in the Philippines, we met with the Deputy Chief of Mission of the U.S. Embassy, and he was very kind to share with us that what we do is it's something that's very appreciated in the Philippines, that is music. So in that way, I think that we have the perfect audience. Every time we've been coming here, the audience has been responding greatly. Just like this weekend in Puerto Princesa, we had 3,000 people, and it was so much fun, and everyone was participating, and the kids was having a great time. And it's a family-oriented show. So we get from Lolo and Lola, right? So we come grandpa, grandma, to the kids and mom and dad. So there's no offensive content. You know, there's nothing that would prevent anyone from coming to the show. And it is really family oriented, as we also live with host families. The host families come to the show. And one thing we haven't mentioned, but Up With People is non-profit, non-political, and non-religious.
Okay.
So the idea is that we open for anyone to come and share with us what we do. And it's just so much fun when you have 100 young people from 20 different countries all on stage singing with one positive voice, one positive message, that we can always learn something, do better, and why not create the future leaders of the world?
And we've talked about the host families. How does, trying to find enough host families for 100 people must not be a trivial thing. How do you gather the host country, the host family?
Well, I mean,
that's one of your jobs, right?
It's all our jobs. We're all staff members, but I think we have to say a big thank you out there to our teams that have been working in the Philippines to make this happen. Camille Gavar, she's been our local support here. She's from Quezon City. She's been helping the team. Marluz, who's from the Netherlands, and Ashley from the United States. They've been working together specifically in Metro Manila. And then we've had Nika Bendero working for us in Puerto Princesa. And those guys really go all out to connect the community. And you have to work 20 hours a day to be able to get those families in the time that we give them.
Yes, because the time frame is very limited, right? I think that's the
That's
challenge.
the key, right? Yeah.
On the other side, the very fun part of it is that it's a unique experience for you to host in your house someone coming from Sweden, right, or England, or Brazil, or U.S.
Who is
yeah,
it?
Japan. So we have not a guest, but you have a family member. That's why we say it's just like your family member coming in. Nothing different. You don't have to have any special treatment. They eat the same thing you do. They have your same, manners and same things you do. And of course, a few cultural adjustments here and there. But the Filipino family has been so welcoming.
The hospitality is something
Fantastic.
Well, hospitalities are us. I mean, here in the Philippines,
Yes.
I think they are some of the warmest people in the world, I think.
And we've been capitalizing on that. The first thing is we had about 200 host families in the Philippines just in Metro Manila over the last 5 tours that have hosted us. And historically, Up With People has over 500,000 families all over the world.
Wow.
So it's a lot of interesting people, right?
Do you have an alumni of families, or
Yeah,
or
we do. We do.
Do you really? Yeah.
Yeah, we have a big network because some of the alumni become host families too. Some
Okay.
of the host families decide to travel in the program, the kids, and then they will become alumni. So it's really interesting. So how we keep them involved, and it's a fantastic experience for us. That was my favorite. I think one of my favorites, if not the favorite part of the program, is the connection you make in such a short time with a family that you never seen before. 1 week after you're about to leave, and you feel like it's mom and dad and grandma, and you could live here.
And you only stay with that family for about a week, is it?
That's right.
It's just about a week at a time, then, huh?
Yes.
Wow.
But hospitality, like you said, in the Philippines specifically, everyone is smiling. Everyone is trying to help you, support you. And this is something we also been endorsed by the Department of Tourism of the Philippines over the visits we came here. And this year we decided to also thank the Philippines by creating a 7-day campaign based on the It's More Fun in the Philippines slogan.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So every week, for this week, for every day, we have been posting on our Up With People Facebook page. So if you go to facebook.com/upwithpeople, you see already the first 2 days, and we're launching the third one. The first one is about team working. The second one is about peace, and we're developing the next days. But it's really a fun way to see how many great things there are already in the Philippines that sometimes they're not so much talked about.
Good. On your Facebook page, Facebook/Up
Up with people.
Up with People. Would they also be able to get the information about the show?
Correct.
And again, I'm gonna mention the show again
Thank
now.
you.
That's this Saturday,
Yes.
October 27th, 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. at the CSA Makati Theater.
Yes.
That's the Colegio San Agustin,
Yes.
and it's inside the Das Marinas Village.
Yes.
And please come on out, guys. They don't need to have tickets before they go, or do they need to get their tickets before they go?
Ideally, for security,
Probably better to do
yeah,
that,
we've been
right.
asking people to buy their tickets
To
before.
buy it at ticketworld.com.ph.
.ph. Yeah,
Okay,
Ticket World
good.
also been so kind. They've been supporting us. They became one of our partners, and they're really willing to support Up With People efforts here.
Okay.
So they create a special page for Up With People, and you can go there. It's super easy. They have, I think, outlets around the whole Metro Manila.
Okay.
And of course, they also do sell online. So all the opportunities we have, it's only 2 shows. So we have only 2 opportunities.
And
to
you
see
have
voices.
about 1,000 people can get into each show, right?
About that.
So you've got about room for 1,000.
Yes.
So get your tickets really soon.
That's
because
correct.
You don't want to miss it. Also, here's a question. We've been talking about host families and talking about the things you're doing, but we haven't talked about how a young person could become an Up With People person. How does one sign up to do these things?
There's a number of ways that people travel in our program. Some people come see a show and are really inspired. They love the show. They want to know more about the education program. How can I travel as a young adult? Some people find us on our website or on facebook.com/upwithpeople, or we have another website with more admissions information on. That's upwithpeople.org.
.org, okay.
And that has all the information, like the requirements to travel. You have to be between the ages of 17 and 29 years old. We ask that you graduated high school. Some people say, well, you know, you're Up With People, you're musical. Do I have to be musical to be part of a cast? Well, the answer is no. We tend to look for what kind of attitude do you have? What kind of person do you have? Are you a person focused on service? Do you want to make a difference in the communities that you go to? You know, how open are you to spending 6 months or a year, if you do the year-long program, with host families for a week? You know, that's intensive. That's really, really challenging. And we really try to assess, are you ready for that? And we get hundreds of applicants every year who want to be part of the program. And it's really, I think, from a personal point of view, I think Up With People is different in that we give young people the skills that colleges and schools can't provide. We give them those
Soft
experiential, soft skills that
real
they learn.
real world.
Real world.
Real world, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great, you know, it's a great first step into the working environment.
Well, I think so. You know, some people travel well and some people don't travel very well. And this is one way to learn how to travel well, I suppose. And having, you know, I've spent much of my life on airplanes and running around here and there. And I always, it's fun to travel with people who can adapt very quickly. I'm not going to ask you what your fallout rate or anything like that is, but certainly you certainly have people, even though you've screened them, that don't make it. Does that cause you a problem, or
No,
how do you?
not really. I think with the amount of information around us nowadays, it's fairly easy for a participant to learn about the program. And I think people kind of, most of the times, can guess if they fit or don't yet.
Right.
So I think in a certain way, through the interview application, through the interview process, that naturally happens. And sometimes what it could happen is, one, we have the program being conducted in English. So you have to have at least a basic control of English. And a few participants coming from countries where English is not their foreign language, the native language, they have to practice a little bit more. Or sometimes you haven't had yet enough life experiences to be a little bit more mature and be able to handle the demand and the fast pace of the program. So those things might say you approved for a program in a year time. So we also have those deferred acceptances.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So it's
Yeah.
not necessarily that a person will not qualify. Most of the people that do apply already have the passion for service, and they have researched us well enough to know if they want this experience or not. And I think that is already a self-screening, a process that helps to eliminate what you're talking about.
Right, right.
And at the end, the program, being around for 47 years, a big part of it is really empowering young people to do good things. And with that approach, we also have to be very responsible for the participants, for their safety, for their health, for their well-being, but also for their conduct, because we are a leadership program, we are an educational program, and we are representing, we're in front of heads of states, we're in front of a lot of very interesting people. So we also want to give the best, and we want to really let people know that the young people around the world can make a positive difference.
Right, and the chance to do that, I mean, for people, for young people, is a great thing. You know, my age, our chance going overseas was not a good one, you know. And this is why I really applaud this sort of thing. I wish there were more of it. How long is your waiting list? I mean, there must be people standing in line to try to come. Do you look a couple of years down the road, or?
We have like 3-4 groups already being formed. And I think also in an interesting way, with plans moving, nowadays it's so fluid, we also work closely with the participants to see which program would best fit their life plans.
I see. Okay.
So also we would like to include them as part of,
I see.
their plan. So in a certain way, it's a conversation. And sometimes people are okay, already got in for a program, but we prefer, or they prefer, to be moved to a new one. So we always have to look at the mix of the participants. That's also something very interesting. The mix of countries, the mix of backgrounds. Because imagining you traveling the world with a group of 100 people from so many different places. So the diversity and the dynamics of that group itself, it's also very interesting. And the more rich that group is, the bigger experience they will have, the more learning opportunities they will have.
Sure. And you're from Brazil, you're from Great Britain, and I'm a Yank, so we've got 3 right here.
Yeah.
But I'm a little old to go into your program, I
Well,
suppose.
you should join us in CAS X.
Here's
Here's the invitation.
Well, let's see. Well, thank you so much. And I'm going to say this one more time. Up With People is presenting Voices, and it's going to be on Saturday, October 27th at 3 and 7 at the CSA Makati Theater, Colegio San Agustin, inside Das Marinas Village. And hey, get up on www.ticketworld.com.ph and take a look. And also, we're going to take once we get a chance, we'll get it set up here on the computer, just a really short little thing for you to see sort of the things that they're doing on the show itself. And yeah, maybe the camera over there would be good. Put it up, and he'll get it up, and you once he gets in on it, you can push the button to make a start. How's that?
Yeah,
you
that
know.
sounds great.
There you go. You're gonna push the button now. That'll get it.
We are rolling.
There we go. And again, you're seeing here it's kind of a rap. It's kind of an upbeat, and all of these things are produced by yourselves, right? For the show.
The group started rehearsing all the way in July in the United States. Then they toured the U.S. for about 6 weeks. Then Taiwan for 3 weeks. Philippines for 2 weeks.
There you are, right there. That's
and
it.
as you see in here, that was our Taiwanese video in Chinese. We were just, like I mentioned, performing for the president over there. And we perform at the Taipei Arena for 8,000 people. We perform at Da'an Park. It's a beautiful park.
Central Park.
Yeah, it's like the Central
Really?
Park
Oh,
of
yeah. Oh,
Taiwan,
great.
and it was a beautiful evening for about almost 2,000 people as well. So from here, the group goes to Mexico
Oh, great.
So they finished their world tour in Mexico. So this is the last 2 shows in the Philippines, the only 2 in Metro Manila. So we really hope all of you at home would spend a little bit of time on Saturday, 2 hours, sharing with us, sharing with a group of 100 young people from all over the world. And for sure, what we always say, this is a concert, a show you never forget. You're always going to cherish and you're always going to remember. And that's one of the beautiful things about me being working with Up With People. I meet people from all ages, and they always remember. I remember when Up With People came to my school.
Yeah.
I remember when I watched them in there. And in Puerto Princesa this last week, on our Facebook, if you have a chance to read, you see the comments of the people. Best show ever. Hope you can come back again. And in a certain way, the group has such a positive atmosphere. And like Marco was saying, we have concerts, songs from all over the world. We have international outfits. We do medleys. And I know Filipinos love medleys, love music from different eras, different decades. And also we have songs from different countries. So from Europe, we have different continents, Africa, the Americas, Asia. So it's entertaining, educational, and at the same time, it's a great opportunity for us to get to know Beth's
And
What Up
what's
With
really
People
great
does.
about it for the performers, it isn't just, okay, we're doing a show here, you spend your night in the motel, you're off to the next place. And it's not like that at all, is
Yes.
it? Because you're doing the 2 shows here, but you've spent 3 weeks doing other things as well.
Community service, host family living,
and as
leadership.
we say on this show, doing good things and doing them well or doing good and doing it well is a really important part of life, and that's what Up With People is all about.
Correct.
And
So we really appreciate you taking the time to have us again in your show. I know you've been traveling around the world too. It's in your blood, so that's a great thing. And I hope you can come with your family also this week, just like all of you back home. It's going to be 2 unforgettable shows, and we're looking forward to seeing you all at CSA Makati.
That's it. Then all you folks out there, I'd like to say thank you so much for inviting us into your homes. But also, don't forget, next Saturday at 3 and at 7, get up on ticketworld.com.ph. Get your tickets and get out there. Bring your family. Bring your 10-year-old, because when your 10-year-old gets to be 17, they might be wanting to go. Once again, thank you so much for inviting us into your homes. It sure wouldn't be any fun without you. And until I see you again next week, straight ahead.